Howdy folks, good afternoon. How are we all doing? Here's a part 3 video at Alligator Creek Preserve. So, noticeably I was just chilling out, just going for a little break, just to take in some time of nature, some deep breaths. But then I noticed, as I was sitting here and chilling and possibly grilling, if I was out in the sun, I happened to stumble upon this Black Neddle Rush marsh, as labeled right here. So, Black Neddle Rush, it's essentially describes a type of herbaceous plant, a rush. So, of course, as I've mentioned in the past, you have grasses, sedges, and rushes. Now, a common distinguishing factor of rushes is the fact that there are rhizomes. Now, rhizomes basically are an extensive network of roots that are underground. And with that being said, oftentimes, a rush, let's see, I'm just going to take a sample. So a common characteristic of a rush is, ooh, I hear a bald eagle. Pardon me. If you look closely, you see sort of that like pith-like material, sort of like something you would see maybe in, I don't know, maybe a texture comparable to that of, I'm trying to think of an example. Maybe styrofoam? I know that's a wild analogy, but yeah, essentially it's kind of like a sponge-like material. There we go. That's a better comparison, more relatable. But a rush usually has this pithy material along its vascular stem. And it's so named given the fact that the tip is very sharp, almost where it feels like a needle. Now, in terms of whether it can penetrate the skin, well, I'm sure it can, but I'm not willing to put myself through that type of pain. No, thank you. But as you can see, like, it kind of is partially black, but it is mostly green. It just has a very dark appearance. But yes, this is indeed a type of marsh right here. And I have done a video that did delve a bit more into marshes. But essentially, this is a salt marsh. Since we are a bit closer to Charlotte Harbor itself, it's going to be a bit more salty. Here it actually even talks about salt marshes right here. Too, a nice little interpretive sign. But yes, salt marshes are highly influenced by the tides. So like right now, since it's getting a bit into the dry season, the tides are getting a bit lower right now. But then, we have had our recent full moon, so that could change right away. But yes, only in a salt marsh can you really find salt-tolerant plants, such as that of the Cordgrass and that Black Neddle Rush that I was pointing out. But then, I also noticed, as I was here, I noticed this guy, this shrub right here. Some of you may actually recognize it. But for those of you who don't, ow, sorry, ow. I'm trying to grab a sample, but I feel like I'm getting stabbed. Okay. That was dumb. I was like literally walking into those needle rushes. Ow. Back to the point that I was trying to make. What I'm holding right here is actually the fruit of a buttonwood. Now, Buttonwood has been in debate as to whether or not they should be related to the 3 other mangroves. Just because Buttonwood is found very closely with our mangroves. They basically inhabit the same area, essentially. But the thing is, it falls under a separate genus. So in a sense, it can't really be directly related to the mangroves. But here's one thing. They do indeed provide a commercial value. Whoa, I was in a little close. They do provide a commercial value, as I was saying. So, some of those benefits can include, well, since it's a very hard wood, strong and durable, it actually has been used in construction, as well as even useful as a firewood, because it actually stays relatively dry, since it is a bit more of an upland shrub. Now, with that being said, it's very tolerant in terms of what type of environment it can inhabit. So they can handle salty environments or even less salty, like more freshwater related. So actually, they serve too as an excellent urban tree as well, just because of their versatility. Since they're not particularly picky of their soil type, they can handle moist or even dry. So, good thing. But with that being said, this is probably about like a medium size, but they can grow as high as 60 feet in the air. And you may be wondering too, you know, they call it the button bush because they produce these seeds that kind of resemble looking at a button. But rest assured, this shrub isn't aging backwards like Benjamin Button. That was silly. But the thing is, though, these buttons, they don't really provide like a source of food for a wildlife. They don't really attract anything. But they can be a host plant for several separate butterflies and other various pollinators. So they still indeed provide a value for our wildlife. But they're just not really relied on for food. And actually I read something too that the Seminoles used to use, or not used to, but they probably still use buttonwood for barbecuing in terms of the wood itself. So that's what I mean. It's a very excellent wood to use, you know, especially if you need a fire. But yes, there's a piece on the buttonwood. And it's even been used in fencing, too. So, I kind of like to think of it as sort of like a southern equivalent to the Osage orange that is found further up north, you know, back in my stumping grounds of Ohio. That was also a very durable wood. So, just something to compare it to. So, alright, you guys. I hope you learned something of value in this video. Just wanted to point out a couple of different things that you can see in this Florida landscape. Thanks for taking the time to watch. And once again, enjoy your wacky Wednesday. Journey on a Journey is outwards. Take care, folks. Have a great day. Take care.